Hey guys, so I just finished playing Resident Evil 6, and this is the game, by the way, if you weren't getting that. And I thought it was really good, it has to be said. I was a bit skeptical because, as I've said in previous videos, I did really enjoy Resident Evil 5, and for the trailer for this, it seemed very much kind of, oh, terrorists, and that kind of stuff. It just kind of annoys me. It's just like, okay, we get the point. Terrorism's been around, but it doesn't mean that every single game now has to be based on terrorism. It's, it's one of those little things that niggles at me. But there you go. But it was actually quite good. It wasn't too much kind of like that. It was just kind of, Resident Evil style, someone's going to try and destroy the whole world. Which in this case was Ada Wong / Simmons, some chief security person who thinks that by destroying the world, we're saving America. Yeah! Doofus. It's all out crack-a-lact. But I thought the graphics in the game were really good. I thought that the gameplay... It was a really strange gameplay in the fact that it was just all the buttons, or most of the buttons were different to all the previous games and all that. And then they had this new case system, whereas in all previous Resident Evils, they had a case and you've got to pack correctly. Like, you can turn guns around and make sure that they're all fit perfectly so you can get the maximum amount of space in your case. They got rid of that this time, and they changed it with this kind of bar system where you just flick through and you click, and that was cool because it was faster to choose stuff. But also, you didn't know when you were reaching your limit of space, so then when you'd reach that but you wanted to pick up something cool, you had to faff around for ages, jiggling stuff around, thinking, whoa, what do I need this? No. And you couldn't just chuck away one of those, you had to chuck away everything. And that was a bit annoying. Also, they had this new stupid thing with health, which is that to get it, you have to open your case, you have to combine the herbs like you always could, but you used to be able to just eat a herb and that'll be fine. But now you have to combine them, and you can't combine green and green herbs, so you have to find a red herb, and red herbs are ridiculously hard to find. If you know Resident Evil, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you don't know Resident Evil, just know you got some herbs, red and green ones, you combine them, it makes us like more health. But there you go. But then, so you think you should be able to use that, but you can't. You've then got to click more buttons and put it into your case, which I know it's just a few more buttons. But when you actually need the health, as in you're being beaten up, and you've got to faff around doing all that, it's really annoying. It's just like, because I'm, or I think I tried to organise myself so I had enough health before I went into a firefight. But then I ran out of health and I've collected a herb during the firefights, and then I have to do all that faffing on to get the health so I can use it so I don't die. And it was just really stupid. I thought it was really stupid. But there you go. But one thing about Resident Evil 6 is that it's split into 3 campaigns, which I thought was really good. I like a game that has lots of depth and lots of story and all that kind of stuff. So it was split into 3. It was split into Pierre and Chris Redfield, that was in Resident Evil 5, Leon and Helena. Leon was in Resident Evil 4 and previous ones, and Jake and Sherry, which are 2 completely new characters. So the Pierre and Chris campaign was good. It was good, apart from, well, it was good in certain aspects that it was orientated around what I would call the new Resident Evil zombies, which are ones that mutate all over the place, and they've got millions of appendages coming off them, and ridiculous zombies. They're not really zombies; they're just monsters. So that focused around them, and I was kind of cool with that. Leon's focused on old school zombies, which are the ones that just come running at you. Okay, it did have a few other zombies and monsters that, are newer, but it was mainly focused on that, which was kind of cool because it had that kind of different aspect of, and I also found myself playing it, and I was like, I've got to be really quiet on this one. I've got to be really quiet, yeah? So I'd try and sneak up to this zombie and break his neck, but of course, being a Resident Evil game, it's not like that. It's just as soon as you enter an arena, all of them come running at you. It's like, but I was being quiet. I was being like a zombie survivalist, but it's not that kind of game. So there you go. And then Sherry and Jake, it was more new zombies, and it had this kind of Nemesis style enemy who went through the whole thing. So, you know. So if I'm going to run through the campaigns just very, very quickly. Chris and Pierre's, as I said before, was all new zombies. But it was mostly that Chris is kind of off his game, and Pierre is trying to get him back in the game, so to speak. And he's like a rookie, and they have some past, but Chris has like some kind of amnesia towards it because of the event. And through the campaign, you find out what happened. I'm not going to go through that because it'll take a million years. So all that happens, and Chris is a bit of a doofus the whole time. Then finally he warms up, and I'm kind of enjoying, like, I think Pierre's quite a cool character. And then suddenly Pierre gets his arm ripped off, and he turns into like some kind of mutant electric sparky thing. And it was like, whoa, I can shoot lightning, this is cool, for like the last, I don't know, chapter of the game. And then he dies. I was really enjoying that. We could have had like some kind of cool like little thing going on. It was just, so that was a bit annoying because I was like, oh, Pierre's getting cool, you know, Chris is finally not being an idiot anymore. I've got some kind of cool lightning rod blaster thing, and then I die. And it's the end of the game, and it's that really annoying thing that Resident Evil do, where when it's the end of the game, you look into the sunset and the helicopter flies off. Woo! Happiness! Yeah? So that was like, okay. Leon and Helena, as I said, it was all the kind of old school zombies, which was cool. Helena was really annoying in the fact that she kept complaining and not telling you what was going on and how she was involved with all the zombies, and it was her sister that was something to do with it, and she was just really, really annoying. And also with Leon's campaign, although it was quite good, it had this annoying thing where there was this guy, Simmons, in it, and he just would not die. And don't get me wrong, they even made reference to it in the game. How funny is that, you know, oh, get used to the fact that baddies don't die. But it was ridiculous. It got to the point where you're like on a train and you kill this guy who's turned into like a mutant Shadow of the Colossus style lion zombie thing. So you kill him. Okay. Suddenly you're in this tower and he's turned into some kind of dinosaur. It's like, seriously? A dinosaur? So you kill him again. Suddenly he's back as a lion. It's like, hang on, is this like a clone or something and there's two guys? Because I can understand that. But it's not. Then it goes, you get the rooftop and you have to fly this helicopter, and suddenly he's a giant fly. A giant zombie fly. And I'm not meaning like a little fly. I'm meaning like he takes up the whole roof as a giant fly. Seriously? Seriously? And then when he falls to his death, all his blood makes the Umbrella logo. I mean, he falls on a spire, but I'm like, I understand we have like, how many pints of blood? I don't know how many pints of blood we have in our body. But it was a pretty big Umbrella logo. I'm pretty sure, one, you don't have that much blood in your body, and two, it doesn't rush out of you that fast to fill a logo. But then again, it's Resident Evil, so what did I really expect? Then you have Sherry and Jake's story, which has, as I said, this Nemesis-style baddie, which annoyed me because, again, it's like one of these enemies that you just want rid of. It's like, I'm sick of fighting this guy over and over and over again. But it was kind of cool, their story. It's kind of one of those ones where it doesn't really have much to it. It's like a lot happens in it, but not as much as, it's like an alright story. Other than the fact that all the cinematics point to them to having like a little relationship. And I was like, oh, that's really cute. Oh, I ship it. And, you know, maybe it's because my hopes romantic. But, so all that happens. And I'm getting like, oh, you know, Sherry and Jake are getting it on. Only for, at the end, him to ride off into the sunset again on a bike and say, oh, by the way, you don't have to pay me $50 million because he's a mercenary. You can just pay me 50. Whoo! And she's on a plane. Like, what is going on there? Why aren't you together? I just went all that for nothing. Really? So, I finished the game. Woo! I was really happy. And then suddenly, fring! Ada's campaign unlocked. Seriously. I've been sat here for so many hours. And don't get me, as I said before, I do like a game of story. But to play the same kind of story all over again, but as Ada, I need to find the energy somewhere. So I will get around to playing it, and I probably will post a little side note video saying I've played Ada's campaign, but I haven't done that yet. It's because 4 campaigns in space of like a week, maybe a bit far. Or maybe I just found that a bit far, considering I had other commitments. So yeah, that was all that. So if I was going to rate it, I'd give Resident Evil a 7, 8 out of 10. I give everything 7s. It's like, I'll give it an 8. Because it's very good, apart from a few little niggly things, which was some of the gameplay was really strange. I do like the expanse of campaigns. Also, they have this annoying thing where when you want to reload a level, you have to play a whole chapter. Whereas if you just want to play somewhere in between that, like in the middle of it, you can't. You've got to go through the whole thing. And some of them are really long, so it's like really annoying. Whereas, as I said, Resident Evil 5 had the option just to play like each little section of it, which was fine. But you just saying it, you have to play the whole chapter. It's a bit rubbish. Or in my eyes, it was a bit rubbish. But there you go. So laters. Mwah!